Our next story comes from Zimbabwe. They've introduced a new currency and abolished the old one. The new currency is called ZiG, or Zimbabwe Gold. Before I tell you about it, let's go back in time for a primer. The year was 2008. There was a global financial crisis. Countries were struggling, and so was Zimbabwe. It was dealing with hyperinflation. Prices were on the rise. Daily goods were becoming very expensive. So the country's Reserve Bank came up with a plan. A $100 trillion note. This one. It was one of the world's largest denominations of currency. Still is. $100 trillion. This was to match market prices. Now, 100 trillion sounds like a lot of money. It has 14 zeros, but it was worth less than half a dollar, around 40 cents. And why am I telling you about this? Because Zimbabwe has always struggled with money. They keep introducing new currencies. This week was their sixth attempt since 2008. Sixth attempt. First, they introduced the Zimbabwe dollar, then abolished it, then reintroduced it, and now they've phased it out again. And what will replace it? A new currency called the ZiG. That is short for Zimbabwe Gold, Z-I-G. Now, this new currency will be backed by gold. What does that mean? It means that its value will depend on Zimbabwe's gold reserves. The new currency will come in a few denominations between 1 and 200. It will immediately replace the old currency. The people of Zimbabwe have 21 days. They must exchange their old notes for the new ones. And the old notes are almost worthless. Currently, $1 is worth around 30,000 Zimbabwean dollars. $1 versus 30,000 Zimbabwean dollars. The new ZiG will be valued much higher. $1 will be nearly 14 ZiG. Now, Zimbabwe says it's going to be a game changer. It will give the country a stable currency.
We are doing what we are doing to ensure that our local currency does not die. As I said, we were already in a situation where almost 85% of transactions are being conducted in US dollars because our local currency was not living up to the function of store of value.
But can the ZiG really do the magic? Not really. You see, Zimbabwe has long dealt with inflation. In March, annual inflation was at 50%. The interest rate was at 130%. The economy is struggling. The Zimbabwe dollar is not worth the paper it's printed on, which is why people don't use it. 80% of all transactions are done with the US dollar. Other foreign currencies are also in use in this country, like the South African rand, the British pound, the Indian rupee, the Japanese yen, and the Chinese yuan. All of these are in circulation in Zimbabwe.